Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. In the last episode we cleared up a couple of odd side quests around the place. We tracked down a missing Cerberus operative who turned out to be unfortunately dead, and got some smuggled goods that we stole, well, kind of stolen goods. It was all very meta. This episode, we're going to be doing some DLC. Which means I need to check back on the message where we first heard about this, because I think I missed it. Here we go. Project Firewalker. Commander, the MSV Rosalie, a survey ship with Cerberus connections, has gone missing. The survey team was field testing a new prototype, the Hammerhead planet-side exploration rover. In addition, scientists Dr. Manuel Case and Dr. Robert Aloy are aboard the MSV Rosalie are conducting research for us. We need you to find the ship, her survey team, and the doctors. The MSV Rosalie was last seen near planet Ziona, Alista system, Ismar frontier. Well, that gives us something to go on. We got a planet, we got a Hammerhead, and we got some people to chase after. So, if we find... Where the hell am I? Oh, I'm in the Firewalker system. As you can probably tell, different recording session to the last time, so I have to pick it up again, working out where I am. So, to spend a lot of my time in the Hourglass Never mind what I was going to say there. Man, you can tell it's the beginning of a new recording session because things aren't going well for me already. I'm just pressing all the wrong buttons. I meant to buy probes and fuel. Any buttons other than X would have done something that I want to do there. But no, right out to the side here is the Ismar frontier. And we land in the Aquila system, but we need to head up to the Alista system. Alista system, that's fun to say. Ooh, this one's pretty. Most of these places use real star imagery. Well, like nebula cluster imagery. I don't know if that one's real or not, but if it is, it's very cool. Now here is planet Ziona. Oh, it's a tiny little thing right the fuck close into the sun.
I have detected an anomaly.
Ziona has a thin atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and trioxide created by volcanic outgassing. There are traces of water vapor in the atmosphere, but over the last 5 centuries of observation, particle counts have decreased 4%. While not habitable by any spacefaring species, there is an abundance of native sulfur-devouring bacteria that thrives around the world's many volcanic vents. Interestingly, these bacterium... Shouldn't it be these bacteria? Surely, because it's plural. These bacteria bear genetic similarities to the native life of Ilium. That's a Asari world, which we'll come to relatively soon. Suggesting either a panspermia, spread of microbes by asteroids, not microscopes, good one, or accidental contamination of the original environment by careless spacefarers. And I'm going to, as usual, scan it before doing it. You know, that's something we're really worried about in real life, is not accidentally contaminating planets with earthbound life. It's why any missions to Europa or Mars less so, but Europa, the big one of Jupiter's moons that's thought to have, that's thought to have oceans of water underneath its icy surface. One of the big things there, one of the big challenges for it is being good enough at sterilization so that we can, A, not contaminate a pristine planet, and also, so we don't find life there and we're like, oh my god, life, it's the same as Earth's, and then be like, oh no, it's because we brought it there. So everyone's going to have to be awful careful about that, which is very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to continue scanning and then we'll start the mission.
Launching probe. I have found something.
Scans have located the Hammerhead exploration vehicle and also show active data storage sites that may contain information as to the whereabouts of Doctors Case and Aloy. Let's land. So your choice of squad mate doesn't hugely matter here, so I'm just going to take the Cerberus lot, Miranda and Jacob. Bit of leveling up while we're here. Jacob, we'll give him the 2nd level of Operative. And Miranda, we shall give the 3rd level of Overload. Wonderful.
I'm going to stay at the next site with Dr. Aloy. I think we'll be safer there.
Well, sounds like the doctors are one step ahead of us and they're somewhere else. There's a bit of crashed stuff, and here is a cargo computer control. Let's bypass it.
Systems online. Welcome to the M-44 Hammerhead
This is your onboard VI.
So, this is the Hammerhead. They're continuing the nice tradition of naming Mass Effect vehicles after sharks, which I quite like. We had the Mako, now we've got the Hammerhead. This one, as you can see though, handles a hell of a lot better, and it's got
Guided missile system active.
a lot of interesting features. It's got guided missiles, it's got the ability to jump ridiculously high, it's got the ability to boost ridiculously fast,
Mission objectives.
and it's got the ability to hold Y to pick up research off the ground. So, over this episode and the next, we'll be doing 5 missions of the Firewalker DLC, involving, all of which involve the Hammerhead gunship, as you can see. And it's ridiculously maneuverable. Boink!
Path is now clear.
Hehehe. So then we boost through the fire, it's all very cool. And you can see we've got these kind of blue glowing bits are our kind of primary objectives. Once you get near them, you hold Y on them, and that meter charges up. As it does, you see the ship is moving around. I'm not doing that. In fact, I'm doing the opposite of that. Because the ship tends to wiggle around while it's floating on a bit of research in order for you to collect it. And you need to wiggle back in order to make sure you stay on top of the yellow circle. The meter on the back tells you kind of when it's done. Generally, the Hammerhead is really cool for... Okay. I think it's a neat little touch that all the information you need on the Hammerhead is displayed physically on the ship itself. It's kind of, reminds me of Dead Space or something in that way. You'll notice the meter on the back tells us how close we are to that. If I jump, if you look at the fan on the back, that goes red, and we can't jump again until the fan's green. Though you can't jump really again in midair. And then also when we boost, you'll notice heat, or not. You have to see it next time, you have to take my word for it, but heat builds up on the engines as well in the same way as with the jump, which tells you how much boost you've got left, basically. With this one gathered, there's one more bit, which is over here. Now I remember. Yeah, you can see there's like 2 little meters on the 2 side engines, which as you boost, get more and more red, but jumping drains them a lot more. I think it's up here, yes it is. Wonderful, there we go. So this is a kind of, introduction to the Hammerhead. Let's grab the final bit of research. Or not. Come on. There we go. Each one of those gave me money as well, which is nice.
Objectives completed.
So, you can continue to fuck around here if you want for whatever reason. You also can't take full damage in the Hammerhead. It's great. But yes, when you're done, leave the Normandy. Leave to the Normandy. So, back on the Normandy, if we check our terminal, we receive... Oh, we've got a lot of messages, actually. I'm going to go through the one that's directly relevant first, which is Project Firewalker. Good work on recovering the Hammerhead in one piece, Commander. It will prove useful. Also, the data you recovered from the MSV Rosalie's emergency beacon contains significant intel on a few planets that Dr. Case and Aloy investigated. ED has added the locations to your galaxy map. We hope that one of them leads you to the Prothean sites. Despite Dr. Case's obvious instabilities, proven to be a brilliant and dedicated scientist. If you salvage more logs of his logs or journals, it would greatly help our efforts. We still don't know how the Geth are tracking Dr. Case, so be careful. There's also another few things on there. There is from Martin Burns. So this was a side quest that we did in Mass Effect 1, where a load of biotics took him hostage, and we had to free him from them. It was Father Kyle, it was called. Was it? Or was that a different one? There are a lot of similar side missions in Mass Effect 1. Anyway, Commander Shepard, Udina said this would reach you. I wanted you to know that I haven't forgotten what you did for me the day those crazy biotics took me hostage. You took them down and got me off that ship alive. I won't lie to you. I took this job for the pull and the power. I saw the biotics issue as a stepping stone. Something good to put on my resume. And I was wrong. We all serve humanity in our own way. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to see to it that humanity reaches its potential with a minimum of bloodshed. I'm getting letters of thanks from L2 Biotics who've just received their reparations. These letters should really be coming to you. I just thought you should know. Good luck. I've taken some political heat, so I don't know if any offer of help would ever be useful. But if you need me, I won't let you down. Martin Burns, Chairman, Subcommittee for Transhuman Studies. And then finally, we have a message from someone else. If you remember the DLC for Mass Effect 1, Bring Down the Sky, where we stopped Batarians from crashing a rogue asteroid into Terra Nova. The lead researcher from there, Kate Bowman. I called in some favours and found out how to get to you and what you're working on. We got a big celebration planned for the anniversary of you and the others saving Terra Nova. Last year we added a memorial for you too. I guess that was premature, huh? I figure finding out who's attacking colonies is why you have to go undercover, so I won't invite you to come and give a speech or anything. but I wanted you to know that all of us living on colonies are worried about what's happening out there in the Terminus systems, and I'm really glad you're there to help. There's a lot of crazy military talk going around. I'm glad there's someone there who's not going to take the easy way out. Thanks, Kate Bowman. But the more important of those messages, well, everything's important, arguably, but the more directly relevant of those two were the ones that was, of those three even, was the one that was talking about 3 more Firewalker sites. So, as you can see now on the galaxy map, we now have 3 additional ones. We have Artifact Collection, Research Data, and Geth Incursion. I'm going to start with Geth Incursion. We've not really come across the Geth yet in this playthrough. Ooh, this is a nice looking galaxy too. I like the blue and gold. The Phoenix Massing. Great name as well. Doesn't look that Phoenixy. I picture Phoenix as being redder. Anyway, here we have, I've come to the wrong one. I came to the Typhon system. Whoops. That's Project Overlord, which is something different. We need to go and down to the right, to the Chomos system. That thing up there, Project Overlord, is another bit of DLC, but we won't be doing that for a while. Here is planet Latesh. Latesh, translated from a Solarian dialect as "it's still winter," has an almost habitable temperature and abundant water, but shows no signs of life. Regular supervolcanic eruptions in the southern hemisphere have shrouded the sun and led to a climate even more bone-chilling than usual. So the surface temperature is minus 35 Celsius, mean, and minus 35 Celsius with the shroud. That's fairly grim. That's like a fairly cold day in Antarctica. And that's not even factoring in wind or anything like that. I'm going to have a quick, it's only a moderate one, so I'll have a quick scan around for any resources. Well, 2 probes reduce it down to poor, so I guess we'll just abandon it there and land. Well, investigate the anomaly. Planetary scans detect sensors from signal pods. Detected signals from sensor pods. There we go, left on the planet's surface. These pods may contain valuable data. Warning, surface temperatures are extremely low. Advise keeping Hammerhead exposure to the cold at an absolute minimum.
Exposure to extreme temperatures may degrade engine performance. Mission objectives located.
So, our mission objectives this time is the Geth have been... We're not going to come across the Geth directly in this mission, but they have been here planting stations to monitor environmental temperatures and general, like, atmospheric climate. That's the word, climate conditions. We have got 10 of their survey sites to visit. Well, it was 9, now it's going to be 8. And there's a little bit of a twist. As you can see in the bottom right corner there, we have engine temperature, which degrades. Apparently, you'd think, well, I suppose it's minus 55, especially during a snowstorm, that is fairly bloody cold. But you'd think running the engine, like, potentially if it's colder, it would just mean we're able to push it harder. To a certain extent, but maybe not. But moving does not keep us warm, but gathering data from these things not only recovers us a tiny bit of palladium, which is no bad thing, but also restores a little bit of our engine temperature. And also you may notice, ow, that was embarrassing, ow, compared to last mission as well, our jump is not as high and our boost is not as fast. I think that's because you're in a more claustrophobic area, is the actual reason for it. Ah, look at that. But it's also, I think, just because, I guess it's supposed to be because you're at a lower temperature, you can't operate quite as efficiently. But yeah, what you notice in the distance there is a Geth terraforming beacon. Okay, the engine is now cold. I don't actually know what happens when you get down to 0. It's never really happened, because as you will have noticed, the whole mission is basically a line. It's one kind of canyon that I'm... Whoop! Balls! I give that! It's kind of one canyon that I'm following, so... I guess you can miss them? Watch me having bloody missed it now. But generally, because they're these red things, you can't really go past them without noticing. But yeah, there's a Geth beacon up there which is in the process of terraforming the planet, so possibly trying to make it more habitable. Is my engine temperature's still dropping in here even though I'm out of the snow. That's mildly mingy of you, game. Right, I think we should be fine. There's only one more to go, which is up there. Ugh, that's a bit of a bugger to get to. And that rock looks either like it's giving you the finger or like a penis, because there's like 2 little ones to the side and 1 big one in the center. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, that was weird. looked like the Hammerhead disappeared for a moment. Anyway, let's grab this final bit of research and be out of our way. Be out the way. Be out on our way. None of those are really quite the right phrase, but you know what I'm going for. Much like last time, we get a follow-up message as well. Atmospheric data received. A very capable team is analysing the data you gathered from the Geth's research into atmospheric change. We hope it may open up new avenues for terraforming procedures for future colonies. The tech used in the beacons also contains communications innovations that should help us develop better systems to reduce atmospheric noise. There is no evidence of Prothean activity on this planet. Damn it. So that doesn't advance the quest at all. So that leaves us with 2 more to investigate. Next, we're going to head down to the Hawking Etta. Oh, I definitely remember this one from Mass Effect 1. We spent a fair bit of time in the Sentry and Schwarzschild systems. The system I'm not even sure was in Mass Effect 1, but either way, here it is, and we've got right in close to the sun, planet Korang. What a great name. Initial surveys of Korang noted its high density and active plate tectonics, suggesting a high internal heat fueled by a greater than normal concentration of heavy elements and radioactives. Early test cores proved the mineral richness of the world, but the distance from the mass relay made in the Sentry system made it unprofitable to develop until late 2183. The atmosphere is a smog of methane, ammonia, and water vapor, a so-called primordial soup, similar to the conditions of early Earth. However, there is no evidence of life developing on Korang's surface beyond the level of simple dextroamino acids. The minimum energy input of the red dwarf Ver have created a... Actually, has. The minimal energy input of the red dwarf Ver has created an energy-starved surface environment, and though the planet's volcanism does open up some possibility for subterranean development. Well, it's the opposite to the last one. This one's 58 positive Celsius. But it is a very rich planet, so I'm going to, as ever, scan it before we land.
Something on our sensors.
Scans have found locations matching the descriptions of Dr. Case's survey sites. Exploring the sites could reveal valuable mission data. Warning: Geth presence detected on planet's surface. Use extreme caution.
Mission objectives. Mission objectives located.
First real encounter in the game of Geth, and they throw us a bloody Colossus. So, for those of us who didn't watch Mass Effect 1, or for those who did but need a refresher, the Geth are burning to death underneath me. Ooh, I don't feel so great about that. The Geth are synthetic life forms. They kind of exist together in a... I suppose you'd technically call it... Oh, good. I suppose you technically kind of call it a hive mind, but they call it a consensus. They share programming power between each other. They have a number of physical, they call them platforms, which are what these are, but a much larger number of processors, which are basically the software. As you can see, Geth Colossi have a lot of shields and a lot of armor, but also we've got a bloody gunship, and you can absolutely ram people with it as well, as you just saw then. I will talk, as it becomes a thing, about what happens when you start losing health in the Hammerhead, because that may be a thing on this, and much... Oh, the trooper survived his ramming. Where did he end up? Oh, God, he went bloody flying, went like 100 feet. Oh, he was very solid then suddenly. Well, not anymore. The missiles kind of loosely home in on it. There's no other weapons, but also there's no form of ammunition for the missiles, so you don't have to worry about it. Geth, as ever, are equipped with the standard pulse rifle, which can be mildly irritating. Ooh, this is cool. Ah, that classic like wasp-like gunships. Ooh, that little secret here. Oh, and they've got a destroyer there. I think a destroyer is just a slightly larger one. We're not going to see them up close that much, and that's probably for the best, because I kind of want to save it when the game actually wants to reveal them in-game. Because as I mentioned, this is DLC, and as such... Ooh. Wallop! That was fun. As such, it's kind of not necessarily designed to be played before you've completed the game, so it does kind of, in inverted commas, spoil the Geth slightly, but yeah, not hugely. So yeah, it's Where do I go next? Is it up here? Yeah. It's interesting DLC. This one kind of I like the concept of the Hammerhead, and the Hammerhead actually features more in another bit of DLC later on, Project Overlord. But there's not a huge deal to this DLC. It's mostly just an excuse to show off the Hammerhead. Cool though that is. Not sure it necessarily merits £6 alone. I think it was £6. I can't remember. Is there another gunship here? Because as you can see, there's 5 missions for it in total. This is the 3rd. They are all a bit samey and they're really easy. Because as you're seeing here, we just don't really die. Oh, there we go. So you notice we're making spooky noises. If we get hit more, we will start flashing red and get set on fire. Fortunately, unlike the Mako, which was ridiculously expensive to heal in the first Mass Effect game, oh dear, we just heal automatically, just by existing. It's great. As you notice, now the nasty sounds and flashing lights have stopped, which means we're just fully back to full health. And that's what I mean when I say these missions are very... Ooh! I thought he was going to glide up onto that. Very easy. Which way now? Aha! It's up here, I think. I quite like the design of this world, whereas the other... Oh, it's not up here, but it is over there. I think I need to do a much better jump than I did. Whilst a lot of the other aspects of Project Firewalker leave a lot to be desired, the world design is quite cool, because we've had 3 relatively different worlds this time. We had the Lavery world that we started off on. Ooh, another little bonus bit. We had the Lavery world that we started off on. We had the Ice world that we just did. Oh, God, I got thrown out of that one. Of Latesh, or whatever it was called. And then here you've got this kind of industrial world. This reminds me of, well, 2 things. It reminds me, number 1, of the final level of Halo 3, of the kind of unfinished Halo from that final run there. It also reminds me of Koldros from Xenoblade Chronicles X. And also various parts of the original Xenoblade Chronicles that I nearly said and then realised that's spoilers for anyone who's not played that game. And the last thing I would want to do is spoil that game because it is a wonderful experience. One of my favourite games. Not sure how much I've ever actually talked about it on the channel. But if you've, I think... I was going to say, if you've not come across it, it's wonderful, but I think more people have come across it now, especially with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 being on the Switch, which I haven't played, because I don't own a Switch, and what was the other one? Oh, Rocket Drones! And with Shulk being in Super Smash Bros. And stuff like that, I think it's got a lot more publicity. So it should, because it's... I'm going to say it's the best game on the Wii. It's certainly my favourite game on the Wii, I think. That isn't, like, a remake. Not that there are ones, because any remakes on the Wii, because I was thinking of the various Zelda HD remakes, but they're both on the Wii U. Oh my god, it's really thrown me out, this one. There we go. All it needed was me to make some really weird noises. Right, the final artifact we're looking for is just over here now. And what a surprise! There we go. Geth dropship comes in. Who would have seen that one coming? Oh, there's a Geth Prime there. I've never been able to work out if Geth Prime is a Transformers reference. It must be, surely. No one uses the word Prime as a noun about robots without it being a Transformers reference, surely. Anyway, the Prime is very well armoured. When we actually... Oh, we're on a lot of fire, actually. If I die now, I will be very annoyed. Oh! Ballsack. You're shitting me! I've got to do the whole bloody mission again. Oh. Well. I guess I'll cut to the end. Well, I learned something important there. I was like, I'm going to be all crafty and save so that if I fuck it up again, I'm alright. Turns out, you can't do that. It's literally not possible. If you try and save on this mission, the option to save is grayed out. So I guess it just means on this mission, if you die, you always have to do it again from the start. Which is an interesting choice gameplay-wise. Why are all the rockets going over there? Is there a Geth Destroyer over there? That's it, right, that's it. As I say, their homing is loose. Oh, it's chosen a target over there, apparently. I'm clearly pointing at the Colossus, but the missiles are more interested in whatever's down there. Oh, it's the Prime down there. There we go. And finally, let's focus on the Colossus. This is why the Hammerhead always feels a little bit cheatsy. Unlimited ammo, very fast fire, homing, and from a huge distance. So I can just stand over there and just leather them from miles away. Doesn't quite seem fair, does it? Anyway, let's gather the final artifact, and then head back to the Normandy to presumably end the episode, because it's been quite a long one. All these last few ones have been long ones. I think the non-mission rated ones always tend to be. as in non-plot mission. So we'll finish off by just reading the message we presumably got from that. Oh, we got a couple of them actually, 3 of them. Let's start with a message from Han Ola. So Han Ola was a survivor from Novaria in Mass Effect 1, where we fought Matriarch Benezia, where the Rachni were attempting to be cloned, all this kind of thing. They say you're alive, that you cheated death, that sending you this isn't just a pointless exercise, it's part of my therapy. They say a lot of things. I'm still alive, she isn't. I hear you killed Benezia. Nicely done. Another woman I helped kill, if my information did any good. They want me to thank you. The Rachni would have killed us all had you not shown up. It would have been right. Why me and not her? Why did you show up then and not before? They think they can fix me. But maybe you're not really back. Maybe I died. Maybe I didn't close that door in time. Maybe I held it open to give her a chance, and the Rachni ripped my suit open and I died of exposure there on Peak 15. Maybe I'm a martyr, and maybe this is an ugly hallucination before a glorious afterlife. But if I'm not, then thank you. Well, that's interesting. I don't think we knew about his wife at the time, and also, I don't think we've seen, or I'm not even sure if we do ever see, a female Volus. The little breathy fellas. How very strange. Next, we get some spam. You're too small, from Morlan. I am sorry, my mate. I leave you for a Krogan because you are not endowed as good for your species. Do you fear these words? Morlan's famous shop sells many enhancements online that are not restricted by Citadel trading regulations. Whether you require hormone augmentation, cybernetic enhancement, or gene-biotic xenografting, Morlan has many things you'll be pleased with. All species and gender order online from Morlan's famous extranet site. Hot link from this message. Product availability varies by local trade regulations. All Element 0 products require shipping surcharge. No shipping to Omega. Krogan reproductive organs not available. Other restrictions may apply. Well, that's mildly amusing. And finally, artifacts catalogued. The artifacts you gathered might give us a lead on a larger Prothean site. They have incredible value for historians and might be instrumental in building our understanding of the Prothean legacy. Excellent work in mitigating the Geth presence, Commander. We will keep you appraised of further Geth activity should it threaten mission integrity. And so with that, we'll hold the episode there. So thank you very much for watching. Next episode we will be concluding with the remainder of the Project Firewalker missions. Thank you very much, and good day.